Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day number 8 of albums that are 40 years old in 2025. It's February, 28 days in the month. We're looking back, celebrating the 40th birthdays and anniversaries of 28 great albums, our favorite albums released in 1985. Today for day 8, a very special album, easily one of my favorites from 1985. This is the second studio album from this Swedish guitar player and his band, released August 19th, 1985. Recorded at Cherokee Studios in Los Angeles, California, as well as Skyline Studios in Topanga, California. Produced by the man himself, Yngwie Malmsteen, for Polydor Records, and talking about Yngwie Malmsteen's rising force, Marching Out. Yes, killer album. Played it to death back in the day. Still listen to it quite a bit to this day. Still my favorite Yngwie album. Just absolutely unmatched. Probably has my favorite lineup of Rising Force 2. Of course, Mr. Malmsteen himself on all sorts of guitars, backing vocals, Moog Taurus bass pedals, Jeff Scott Soto on lead vocals. His second and last appearance as a singer in this band. Jens Johansson on keyboards, Anders Johansson on drums, the two amazing brothers, and Marcel Jacob on bass. Great lineup. Got to see this lineup twice, I believe, live. Really good. Really, really good. And a great album. What do you call this music? It's heavy metal. It's early power metal. It's neoclassical metal. It's kind of gothic metal. Yeah, blazing guitars, big riffs, soaring vocals, lots of keyboard solos, a lot of guitar and keyboard trade-off solos, great drumming, the whole 9 yards. Some of my favorite songwriting from Yngwie on this album, and some pretty hot instrumentals too, right? So we start off, of course, with Prelude, little instrumental to kick off the album that goes into the first single off the album, I'll See the Light Tonight. Great song, very memorable, great chorus. Just great riff. Just love it. Don't Let It End. Great anthem. There's some really good anthems on this album. Always love Don't Let It End. Great chorus. Then you got a couple of really, really heavy ones in a row. You got the dark, menacing Disciples of Hell. Love the riff. Great guitar solo. And then to finish off side 1 of the original vinyl, my favorite Yngwie song of all time, I Am a Viking. Man, that riff that opens up the song, so good. You get the gong. It gets all heavy, and Soto is just singing up a storm on this. Absolutely love it. And the guitar solo just kills me. So good. I Am a Viking is amazing, amazing, amazing. One of my favorite songs of this type of metal. So good. Over on side 2, you get the Overture, 1383, starting off the album. Wonderful stuff there. That moves into the heavy Anguish and Fear. Again, good kind of chugging riff. Another really good vocal from Jeff Scott Soto. Love the chorus. On the Run Again is more of kind of like a mainstream rocker. I like that. Soldier Without Faith, another really good, darker metal track. A little bit longer, one of the longer tracks on the album. In fact, I think it is the longest track on the album. Again, more great guitar work, great solo. Caught in the Middle is an upbeat, kind of like rainbowish hard rock tune, really good. And then the album finishes with the blazing title track instrumental, Marching Out, which is so, so good. 45 minutes. Love the production on this album. The vocals are outstanding. There's nothing about this album I don't like. And remember back in the day, I was crushed that this lineup kind of was already splintering by the time this came out. It's shortly after it came out. And then with the next album, Soto's gone. Mark Bowles does a fine job on the next album. I think the next album is really good. It's not quite this. But then they added Joe Lynn Turner for the Odyssey album, and that's my second favorite Yngwie album of all time. Really good. And that lineup didn't last long either. So that's by this time, I think by the time the Odyssey album came and went and that lineup broke up, I kind of was at this point with Yngwie. I was like, all right, this guy is going to change the lineup like every album. And history shows that's exactly what happened for the most part. Let's see, what do we got? Singles, I Am a Viking with Don't Let It End on the B-side, released later in the year, 1985. Charts, Dutch charts, number 30. Japanese charts, number 18. Swedish charts, number 9, of course. And here in the States, this made it to number 54. So again, a lot with his first album, the Rising Force album, which is mostly instrumental, 2 vocal tracks. Right then, kind of ushering in the beginning of the kind of Guitar Hero era in the 80s, and allowing other guitar players to say, hey, I can release like a instrumental album or mostly instrumental album. And, before you know it, you got Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and all the Shrapnel dudes, and boom, Guitar Hero mania for a few years, right? So, yeah, no certifications for this, but it's my favorite. It's my favorite. So even though it only reached number 52 on the U.S. Billboard charts, it remained on the charts for 28 weeks. Pretty good. Pretty damn good, I think. So, and I think the Trilogy album did pretty well. The Odyssey album did even better. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Odyssey was his biggest selling album. And makes perfect sense, right? You got Joe Lynn Turner on board. It's got the rainbow sound. It's very accessible. Great vocals, great guitars, but a lot of really catchy songs on there. A couple of things were played on MTV. Makes sense, right? But anyway, my pick for today is Marching Out. I like the original vinyl cover much better than this one. It's a cool shot, but I like the full body shot with all the smoke at the bottom, the big Marshall stacks behind him, and his hair is out all over the place. I always like that, and all in orange. Got kind of the orange tint on this one, but not quite the same. But yeah, this is my pick for today, day number 8. Let us know what you think of Marching Out down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today. And we'll see you tomorrow for number 9. Stay tuned. This afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the States, 7 p.m. over in the UK. The UK Connection. It's ranking the songs on a classic album. We're going to take the songs of Billy Joel's 52nd Street. We're going to throw them up in the air as they fall, rearrange them in the order we like them, or maybe don't like them. You'll have to wait and see. And it's all about Billy Joel on today's UK Connection show. Then, of course, we got tomorrow ranking the albums. John Gaffney, Rich Catino, and myself, the Metal Trio, will be ranking the albums of the very cool U.S. kind of underground metal band from the 80s, Omen. Really good catalog. Stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss that. And more to come in the prog seats happening this week. Friday morning at the Funhouse. All sorts of other stuff. So tune in. Make sure you subscribe. All that good stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for another album that is 40 years old in 2025 from 1985. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Take care. For those of my friends here on the East Coast, snow is coming in just a few hours. Stay safe, everybody. And we'll see you on the flip side. Take care. Bye-bye.